Hi, welcome to Cat Unmuted. I'm doing something very different right now. I'm outside. I was having my me day today, and I was um, having a cup of coffee at this cafe in Cornelio. But the reason I'm doing this right now here is because, well, there was a lot of things that went through my head, right? And I had just recently let go of my dog. If you follow me on uh, my social media, you would have seen that I have. And I don't know if you can tell a little bit, but my eyes are very swollen right now. Um, they're not as bad as they were this morning, I guess, but it's there. Anyway, that's if you're watching this instead of a podcast. My experience in letting my dog go was interesting to say the least. Um, I don't know how much I shared about why I had to let Maya go. So I'm just gonna cover that real quick. So as most of you know, we are moving to Okinawa, right? And we're moving to Okinawa. Um, well, I'll just say that I'm moving in a sense back to home. I was born and raised in Japan, in the Tokyo area, but my mom's from Taiwan, and so we have a lot of family in Taiwan, right? And my brother last year married his wife and who's Japanese, and they are now living in Tokyo. So us moving to Okinawa just makes complete sense, right? My brother's there, my mom's family is right there as well, and um, and also, well, like one of the reasons this became a huge conversation for us in moving over there is the fact that we've been following several veterans living abroad on social media, and they're like them sharing what life is like as a veteran overseas has really caught Josh's eyes. And I've been telling him for years that I want to move back to Japan. So him finding these veterans living abroad really brought to light what it could be like living overseas. And so he became more open to it. At first it was, it's a big step moving, like living overseas as while you're in the military is one thing, but doing it from your own decision and going there on your own dime, so to speak, um, can be scary, right? There's no true stability, and that's kind of how what most people get hung up on. But when Josh saw that stability is not an issue, and if anything, we'd probably be more stable going overseas, and so he became really comfortable with the idea of going. And so he brought that up to me because again, like for years I told him I wanted to go overseas. I never really felt home in the United States. I've met amazing people. I have a handful of amazing friends, but that doesn't make a place your home. And I I miss that, right? And so I just made it known to him that going back to Japan would be like ultimately what I want. But the problem is I'm not a Japanese citizen, so we would need a visa. In order to get a visa, you need to either get employed or what's the other one? Be a student or start a business. And since we've had this plan to go over there and try to start a business because we're done being employed, right? A lot of rules have changed in Japan, but that's not going to stop us from going. We're still going to give it a try. If it doesn't work, we'll have a plan B. I'm not going to talk about plan B because that's not the point here. Um, so, in order for this to work, right, we have to go to Japan on our tourist visa so that we can figure out while we live there for the 3 months to see what can become a business. It's hard to like it's hard to figure out what you want to do as a business if you're not there because it's hard to see what is missing, what we can do to actually make a change. And the reason we feel like that would be important is because we need the business to work. And if we're just offering the something that's being offered everywhere, for example, if we wanted to do a simple 24/7 gym, for example, there's a shit ton of those. So why would Japan be like, oh yeah, we like your idea, because there's already a lot of those. They're not going to say that. So yeah, so we're like, we need to just go over there and figure it out. It might take more than the tourist visa length time, but the first thing that we have to do is go there and see if there is something we can do and what kind of support we can get. So that's the first 3 months, and that's the only 3 months that we know of in the sense of planning. Because if we can't figure it out, then Plan B has to happen, and if we do figure it out, then the Plan A needs to be furthermore planned out. Um, with that said, now I'm going to talk about Maya. Maya, my dog, right? Um, over 6 months ago, we had to do a blood test. This blood test, Japan has never seen rabies. So that's one of the reasons why they're so strict when it comes to pets. So when we did the labs, the rule is we have to do the labs, send it into Kansas, the main lab that's certified to do the international stuff for pets. And from the moment we send the labs to them, starts the 180-day quarantine. Now, when we talk about quarantine, we think that the dog has to stay home, stuff like that. No. What this is really saying is that the dog has to be quarantined from Japan from the time that the lab is taken. So this quarantine just means the dog is quarantined from Japan, not quarantined home, if that makes sense. So we're still doing our thing, and we're waiting for the labs, the 160 days to pass by. I mean, 120. Pretty sure. Well, whatever the case is, it's 6 months time. Um, yeah, 180 days. Jeez, my brain is like not working right now. Whatever the case is, 6 months. That's what we're waiting. The 6 months ended in June, like mid June. And that would be like the time that Maya would officially be able to step her paw into Japan legally in the sense of her paperwork. Um, so now there are other things, right? Like the chip. I mean, her chip updated with our registered like information, right? So that well, we all know what those chips are. I'm not going to explain that. We did everything that needed to be done. We didn't have her chipped at first, so that was like the reason we chipped her. Um, but I'm trying to think if there was anything else that we had to do. There was like a lot of things, but I'm going to go back to the main point. The number one issue here is nothing else but the wait time, the quarantine time, the 160 days. Um, so now imagine, right? This dog has never been living anywhere but the house that we're in now since the time well, not since the time she was born, but since she was 12 weeks old. And she Like this is all she knows. So for and mind you, the first 3 years of her life, she was so pukey. Like we could not get her to stop puking. Right, getting on rides, like it wouldn't. Like we'll put her in the car, and it doesn't take long for her to start puking. And it's only the last year that she stopped puking. So putting her on a plane worried us, putting her on a plane, like, let alone be in the cargo area with other dogs. So, because she gets very anxious when there are other dogs that she hasn't had the chance to sniff. So, that's going to put her in all kinds of anxiety, especially being without us and in again, a cargo area, right? And then once we get to Japan, then a complete different world that she has to like get used to, right? So not only is there climate change, there's altitude change, and like we're in a different country as well. Like the do's and don'ts of pets are completely different from the United States. So that's like a huge change. And then the fact that we have to figure out what business we can or should do or should try to start, like we'd be out and about a lot. And this dog, I love her to death, but her energy levels are so fucking high. So for us to try to start a business which would involve us to probably not be at home uh um as much as we want to be home. Like, I don't think we would be able to be home as much as we should for her. So at that point, then life's not going to be fair for her. Like, it'll probably take up to at least a year for us to figure something out and be able to actually plan our days so that we can spend time with her. Like, the point is we have no idea what lifestyle is going to be like. Like we may be able to figure out some time with her, we might not. And the thing is, if we couldn't figure it out and we have the kind of space that we have here, that's one thing. We're going to Japan. You have to understand, like property, space, all of that is limited. So we're probably going to be in a smaller house. The yard is probably not going to be big enough for her to just like do her zoomies. But does that make sense? All of this combined, it's going to be so much pressure on her, anxiety. Like, she doesn't have separation anxiety right now, but she will by the time we get there. And it's just going to be worse because we don't even know if we're going to be home as much as we need to be for her. Life is not going to be fair for her. And the fact that we're just going to live in guilt and worry until we figure shit out, it's not gonna life is not gonna be fair for us either. And worst of all, let's say we couldn't figure it out in Japan, right? The 3 months during our tourist visa, we cannot, let's say we can't figure it out. And we have to go into plan B, which is going to a different um, uh, country. So plan B is going to be us going to the Philippines because that's where the VA hospital is. Aside from the United States, they have a VA hospital straight up in the Philippines. It's like the perfect scenario. You know what I mean? So say we have to go there. Now we have to do the whole quarantine thing again. The regulations might be different, right? Because we're going to the Philippines. We haven't looked up what the regulations are, but let's say it's not going to be 6 months wait. Let's say it's going to be just a 1 month wait. When we figure out we can't be there and we have to pull the trigger on Plan B, we don't even have a week because we'll probably realize that like at the at the end of the 3 months. What then? Like, how are we supposed to take care of Maya when we have no idea what's going to happen next? You know what I mean? All in all, it is not going to be fair on her. All in all, it's not going to be fair on us. It's going to be too much for all of us to handle. It's going to be not fair on any of us. Like, if we kept her, it would literally be because I would not be able to handle the heartache instead of thinking about what is best for her and what is best for us. Now, 2 months ago, I pulled the trigger on letting people know I'm letting her go. And mind you, it took an entire month before that for me to get comfortable enough for this idea with this idea to pull the trigger. I cried every day. It was not an easy decision, but I knew I had to make that decision. So I told all of my friends. Well, I didn't tell all of my friends. I told a few friends that we thought might be able to help us best. That didn't go well because we got nothing. So then I put it on social media, mostly Facebook, because that's where most of my friends are at around in this area. Then I started telling people, but whenever I did that, it was mostly strangers that were like reaching out, and I wasn't like, I wanted to know the person, you know what I mean? And I think that scared me to go further than telling my friends. Um, then I started telling, or I put it on Nextdoor. If you don't know what the Nextdoor app is, it's kind of like Facebook, except it's for neighborhoods. So that's where you get to be connected with neighbors who are on this app. Up until this point, I've had all of my friends, understanding our situations, have told us that we are doing the right thing. Like, and not that I needed the reassurance, but it's nice to hear that other people know that I'm doing the right thing. Because again, this was like the hardest decision that I've ever had to make in my entire life, aside from putting my dog down, my last dog down. That was a hard decision too. But this is a bit different for me. It was easier on Josh, like, but that's the difference between somebody who's like born to nurture and somebody who's born to fix. So, with that said, I got all this reassurance, which is fine. And I've had people tell me, "Oh, you should contact these organizations that are literally there to help adopt dogs." Let me tell you, I could not do that. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was scared of what kind of person would see Maya and or Maya's picture, because I'm the talk was I could just send the info and they can help, and I couldn't do that. It's so weird because I put it on Nextdoor, which everybody's gonna be strangers there too, you know. But let me tell you about this Nextdoor app. I I was on Nextdoor a long time ago, and I deleted that app. But because of Maya's situation, I'm like, no, that would probably be like the best, like a really good place to start, you know. And getting that app back and posting the flyer that I created for Maya on there. Oh my god! I was quickly reminded of why I deleted that app. People are nasty on Nextdoor. Very like, I don't mind people being opinionated, you know, but it was more than that. So I posted the flyer, and a lot of people, some people commented saying, oh my God, a lot of them said something along the lines of, uh, like, what did they say? So, I'm trying to remember. I just need to not do it word for word. It was something along the lines of, whatever you do, don't put them in a or put her in a pound. And I was like, man, if I have to do that, like, I'll take her with me before I do that. Like, it's gonna be stressful, but it'll be less stressful than being in a pound, you know? And I said that, but people, instead of reading through what was already said, they just kept saying that. And finally, I did. Oh, like, there were other comments. One of them actually shamed me. He was like, "Shame on you for not taking care of your dog." I'm like, "Are you fucking fuck you? You have no idea why I'm doing this." So I did a comment, and this comment, I uh, what did I do? What is that called? I pinned the comment under my post. I pinned a comment that said, there are reasons why I'm doing this, but I'm not going to explain the reason because probably nobody's going to read this anyway. But I'm just going to say, if you need to know before you comment what's going on, message me. I'll be happy to tell you what's going on. That's what I said. I pinned this comment, and more people commented. More people were still saying, don't give them to the pound. And over again, I'm like, read the fucking pinned comment. And then finally, this woman, oh my God, this, I'm not going to say any names. This woman says, she, like, actually, I get like so many notifications from this woman, and I couldn't understand why until I clicked on the post. And she had commented on every single comment thread, and saying whatever is relatable to the comment thread. So, for example, one of them, somebody was like telling me, "Oh, I had to give up my dog to her, my sister, because of whatever situation," and basically telling me that that dog died of heartbreak. I'm like, "You're not fucking helping me. There's nothing I can do." You know what I mean? And so I didn't want to be an asshole about it. So I was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Maya." Well, this woman, this and she harassed me. I'm calling it harassment. She said, "Oh my God, for the love of God, take her with you." And then another comment where this woman was telling me not to take it to the pound. Yeah, don't do that. Like, take her with you. And then so many other ones. Same, like, groove. Like, for the life of God, take her with you. Like, it's a repeat. And she did that on every single thread of comments. I consider that harassment. You can't fucking tell me what to do with my fucking dog, you know? Just because you are disagreeing with what I'm doing. And then another guy, he actually shamed. Oh, I already said that, didn't he? Didn't I? Like, he shamed me. Shame on you for not taking care of your dog. Mind you, I went in there and I reported it as shaming, and dude deleted his comments so fucking quick. Then this woman, I got tired of her because there was about 7 to 10 comment threads, and she has commented on every single one of them. So I reported every single fucking one. Okay, like, before I did that, I comment replied to her comment saying, "Read pinned post, read pinned comment." Because I'll be happy to explain it to you if you would just fucking message me, instead of like calling me out on shit. And after I did that, and she was still not listening to me, so I reported her as harassment. So then next door, completely cut off my post saying that it's causing causing shit, causing shenanigans. I'm like, oh my god. So I shared my post and said, unfortunately, Nextdoor had to stop this thing, but I'm sharing it because I'm still serious about this. Then somebody else commented to that. Somebody completely different was like, oh, that's because you um, reported someone for harassing you just because you disagreed with her. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm the one that posted this. She's the one disagreeing with my opinions. So she can go fuck herself. And the other thing is, why are you commenting? You're not helping me. So that's what I said. I replied and I said, her comments were not helpful. No, no, no. I said, thank you for your, um, thank you for your concern or something like that. But she was not helping, as is this post or this reply. And I cut off all commentations because it was just getting ridiculous. I was so heated, dude. Like, even to this day, I want to go in there and call them all out and go tell them to fuck themselves. It was a very stressful situation already, and these motherfuckers were all over it, trying to make me feel even worse. So that was ultimately like what I went through trying to do the right thing for Maya. Okay, now I finally reached out to a couple of more people after that because I was starting to like get to the point where I'm like, okay, like social media is not the place to be, you know? And so I messaged a friend that lives in Harris and I told him about this situation and obviously like um he understood, felt really bad for me, and he said that he would do what he can. So I sent him the flyer I created. He um talked to his wife, and they were like, you know, one of our neighbors so and so might be interested, so let's print out a flyer for her and let's go give it to her, you know. So that's what they did. And the next thing they know, they got a call from a stranger. He got a call from a stranger. Later on, apparently, they found out that their neighbor, instead of keeping this flyer, she wrote down my friend's name and phone number and put it in a women's bathroom in a cafe near the base. So he got this random phone call asking about Maya. So he calls me and he was like, I don't want to give out phone numbers without permission. So, you know, and I was like, well, why don't you just give me her their phone number and I'll message you or message them myself and call them myself. And that's what happened. So this girl, they're military. The couple are they're military, but the wife is the one in New Mexico training in Kirtland, and she was like, she's not going to be here long. Obviously, it's just for training, but the reason she and her husband were so in love with Maya the moment they saw the flyer was because they have a dog who's German Shepherd, and remember, Maya is German Shepherd and Husky mix, but she like they sent me a picture of their German Shepherd, and they were identical. And they've been hoping for a playmate for him because they had just lost a golden retriever 4 months ago, and he has not quite recovered from their loss. And they kept talking about how he needs a little play partner, you know. And when they saw Maya and saw how identical she was, they immediately said they absolutely need her and call that number now. So when we talked, we decided to have like a weekend getaway, so to speak, to like a tryout weekend. And her family lives in Arizona, um, and they were coming in that weekend to to visit. So it was going to be like the perfect scenario. They're going to be here, so close to us, right? And I think she was staying. She is staying in Albuquerque somewhere. But whatever the case is, she came alone because her family wasn't there yet. But on a Monday, she came to see Maya just just to see her, and like she didn't realize how small Maya was, but because she's German Shepherd, but she's the size of a husky female, so almost half the size of what their dog is. Their full German Shepherd. So anyway, but she's got so much like German Shepherd like um markings. Her ears, for example, I call them radar ears. Like she's got these ears that just like literally moves 360 degrees since she was a puppy. It's so fun to watch. Anyway, um we talked and she was very interested still. So on Thursday, last Thursday, she came and got her. She wasn't able to necessarily be the one to pick her up. Her husband was already there, so he came and picked her up. So I got to meet the husband at the time, but I was so emotional at the time I couldn't really talk. So I think I was a little awkward. Thankfully Josh was there to like take control of the situation. So literally minutes she was gone. I was a hot mess. But let me tell you, I was not expecting this at all. They messaged me throughout the weekend, not like constantly, but just enough to let me know what was going on. So, in combination with the conversations we had during that time and the conversations we had Saturday, because we invited them over for dinner to talk logistics after the weekend or before the day they had to leave back to Arizona. So, we're talking. Oh, again, combination, right? I'm just going to give you the whole gist of the story instead of giving you bits and pieces. But this is what I saw, what I felt, what they told me. When she got to their temporary house, they had their dog. His name is Bo, in the backyard, so that she can sniff around and then put her that way she's a little more familiar with the new smells before she met Bo. Now, when they opened the door so that they can meet in the backyard, Bo was all about it. He was already, oh my God, this is going to be my new best friend. Maya was like apprehensive at first, but after she was able to sniff him a little bit, they played all day. And she was already showing signs of how smart she was. The husband was telling me the little things that she was doing and the calculations that she was making to do a fun attack against Bo. Adorable. And she ate a full meal that evening, even cuddled in bed with the husband. And it was just, I couldn't have asked for a better situation. So the next day they hung out, and by the end of the day she was so exhausted. She was passed out right beside Bo, and let me like they took a picture of it, identical. Though even the way they were sleeping, it was identical. And the husband was telling me that there were so many similarities, like they might as well have been like siblings from the beginning. So when she came home, oh, before this even started, I forgot to mention when the wife came to see her, we were in the middle of this meeting. And so she had to wait in the living room while we were finishing up, or no, she was in the kitchen. This is an open floor plan. So we were in the living room. She was in the kitchen, sitting at the kitchen island. And Maya, like, she greeted her at the door, followed her to the kitchen island. She sits down and Maya lays down right under her. I'm her safe space, okay? So that was just crazy how, in a sense, attached she got instantly, as if she knew what was happening. I'd like to say that it helped a little bit that I was like not constantly, but I would talk to Maya every once in a while. I'd be like, there's going to be an amazing home coming to you. And hopefully they'll be able to offer more than we will be able to. And I know you're going to be okay. Like, I told her that so many times. And, like, I do believe dogs pick up on energy, like the feels, the vibes. So maybe in her own little world, she knew the moment she met the wife. Anyway, back to where I left off at. They come into the house, right? Like, this is Saturday when we invited them over for dinner to talk about logistics. She walked into the house like it was another day. She didn't tackle me with anxiety kisses. She didn't tackle me in general because she missed me. There was nothing. She came in, looked at me, sniffed around a little bit, and went straight into the living room where she always lays down after a long day and lax. And I knelt down beside her to like give her her lovin's, and she took it like it was any other day. She gave me her kisses all over my face. And she's not a big kisser, by the way. She doesn't lick that much, and her licks was nothing different from any other day. We had dinner. We talked more. They gave us more information on how their weekend went, and their son, who's like 3 or 4 years old, I can't remember which, but he's going through his little terribles, right? And the dad had to take him to, or the dad had to take him to a little more private area away from us to talk to him. And apparently, Maya knew that Daddy wasn't happy, right? So she followed them, and while he was, I can imagine, scolding his son without raising his voice because we didn't hear anything. Maya put her head on his arm, like, there. Like, she was already, like, adjusting to life with them. It's crazy amazing. It makes me happy and sad at the same time. I'm so happy that she found a place and a family that clearly will love her as much as I have, as much as we have. I'm so happy that she was able to go through an entire weekend without missing me and being able to eat a full meal and cuddle with them as much as she has with us. I watched her, like, the husband sat on our couch and Maya climbed up into the middle of the couch where she loves to be between me and Josh. Except it was Josh on one side and the husband on the other. And he was like cuddling with her and giving her all kinds of kisses, and she just laid there like she usually does with me and Josh whenever I'm giving her lovins. And at that moment, I knew everything was gonna be okay. I was like, you fucking traitor. But I love it. I could not have asked for a better situation. I could not have asked for a better family. I could not have asked for a better future, like compared to the future we would have been able to give her. Everything's better. Everything's amazing. She's now in Arizona with her new father and playmate and child friend. The thing that she's probably going to start protecting now. Her little bestie. And we messaged them this morning to see how she did during the drive and how she is now at home. And obviously, she's still playing with the kid and Bo, but obviously sniffing around to like check out her new environment. But other than the sniffing around and exploring, she doesn't seem she doesn't seem like she's going through any signs of anxiety. What's funny about this whole situation is she is out of this state before we are. We were supposed to be gone by now, but I truly do think that we were supposed to do this. I truly believe that we had to let Maya go. And now that we have, I have a feeling things will start moving the way they should. I just wanted to share this because there is a level of strength and love that you can have for a pet to be able to do what I just did. I couldn't bear thinking about not being able to give her the life that she deserves because I wouldn't have been able to do that. No matter how much I love her, that wouldn't have been able to happen. So I was able to muster up all the strength in the world that I had for her through love to give her the best I could. And ultimately, that was me letting her go. By letting her go, I've accomplished giving her a better life with this new family that she has found. Which is funny, I didn't find them. All by accident, they found me. They found her. And even though she's 4 years old, they immediately knew they needed her when they saw her picture on that poster I made. I am so grateful for what happened. I'm so grateful the right people came forward. I'm so grateful for my friend's neighbor for doing what I couldn't, which is putting that poster in cafes. I am so grateful for how everything turned out. I'm still heartbroken. But I am so happy. I'm so happy for her. And I'll be connected with her to a point. It might be a true connection because I'm not going to see her. But I'll be connected with her new parents. And I'll know that she's living her best life without me. I am grateful for that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm really grateful that I have the strength to do this. Because it would have been unfair to all of us, not just me and Maya, but the family, but mostly Maya. Anyway, I just wanted to share the journey I had to go through in the last couple of months because of this. Whatever the case is, that's that. And uh I wanted to throw out there as well. I had 42 books, Lucky the Bird, that I've been trying to sell because I don't want to take them with me to Japan, and I would like them to land in the hands that need them. So I'm down to 38 books. So if somebody you know that needs it or you want it, comment or message me on whatever platform you're on, or you can even find uh well, if you're on a podcast, look look into my website, the letter B dash unhinged.com or luckythebird.com. Bird is spelled BYRD. Lucky the Bird, BYRD. It stands for Big Yellow Rubber Ducky.com, and it'll take you directly to the website as well. But I have books to be sold, books to land in the hands that need them. So if you're interested, go to my website and message me. If you're seeing this on YouTube or whatever, you can also just comment or message me through there. But other than that, thank you for listening, and hopefully this gives you an idea what strength looks like when you have the deepest love for something, and maybe reflect on times that you should have done something like that but didn't, or the the fact that you did have that strength and you didn't reflect on it. Hopefully this will help you reflect on things. Yeah, that was a bit much for me. Anyway, I've been not on social media much, and this is why. I'm taking some time to grieve my loss, grieve the future I thought we would have had with her, but also understanding that she's in a good place and in the best place. All right, so I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.